So here we have the new Jet Knifemaker's bandsaw, designed to cut metal and wood. It has a full variable speed between about 80 feet per minute through to about 380, 350 or something feet per minute. And then for wood it goes up to about 2800, 2600, I'm not sure, you have to look at the spec sheet, but it's full speed for wood. The unit itself comes fully assembled with some minor adjusting to suit your blades required. Comes with two blades, a metal and a wood blade. Here's where the magic happens. Here we've got the gearbox behind this, and we've got a clutch here that engages and disengages the gearbox. When it's engaged, then you can run at slow speeds, and when it's disengaged you can run at full speed. The knob down the bottom there is your adjustment for your speed when you're at slow speeds for different metals, plastics, anything that requires a slow speed. So we're going to run it, and we're going to watch that top knob there. See how it's disengaged at the moment, and pulled out, sorry, which engages the gearbox when it's pulled out like that. And you'll see how slowly that knob's turning. Now when I adjust the tension or the speed using the bottom knob down here, which you can see on the side there's got the range, the scale, so you can see roughly how fast it's going. I'm going to wind it up. I think I'm going, yep, and we've gone slower. As you can see, it's slowed it right down. So for cutting steel or thick steel section, something like that. Of course you can wind it faster again, up to 320, I think it is, and you see it's moving faster. So for cutting your brass and so forth. Pretty straightforward. Turn it off, and so the next thing we can do is, by pushing in this knob and just rotating it slightly while pushing in, right hand, like that, it engages full power. And that's the simple speed, up around 3000 feet per minute. Resaws, there's a nice little resaw I did yesterday on it when I was setting it up. So anyhow, the purpose of the day is to make a knife, so I'm going to bring the speed back down, pulling this out and re-engaging it, and we'll go from here. See if we can't cut out some we've got some 1075 here on the go. For the record, it's about 5.5 millimeter thick. 5.3, I think it is. I've got a template there, which I'm going to attempt to cut out. a bit of luck, you saw something there. I'm using a 20mm blade. It's a bimetal, very strong, heavy metal cutting blade, bandsaw blade. I'll get some close-ups of the different blades later. I'm going to change that out because I'm cutting straight lines really quickly through this very thick material. But I'd like to give it a go with a thinner blade, 6mm, and see if I can cut curves. Okay, so I've now installed a 6mm 14 TPI blade, which hopefully I'll be able to cut some corners with. We're going to just try and get around the back of the handle and see how that goes. Look at that. I had to have a couple of bites at the cherry there because I went a bit far and had to come back, but I am really impressed with that. I could have come in where the guard comes down a bit more and gone a bit tighter. But anyway, this is my first time using a bandsaw. I was really impressed with how quickly that cut. And I'm really impressed with the way it follows the curves. That's heaps easy. I'm really impressed. I'm going to go along now and cut this out. Followed my line a bit closer, but hey, you get the idea, right? Right, I've made some changes to the setup. I've changed the blade out to a 20mm ripping blade, 6 TPI, again bimetal. I've gone with all bimetal blades. I don't see the point in cheap. Maybe there is. I've got this piece of timber that I'm going to make some scales out of. It's a really hard Australian hardwood. I would guess at a eucalypt, probably, I don't know, iron bark. I'm going to just put it out there. I don't know. It's a eucalypt and it's very hard. I've set up to do the first cut like a poor man's planer, just to chew up this rough sawn edge. The other faces are all pretty good, so I'm just going to chew up that edge first, and I'm going to try and get a couple of scales out of it. Oh, and I've added a vacuum for the dust. Well, that's a very nice, well, I can't get a photo of it, but that's a very nice, true cut. I'm very impressed with that. I'm going to change the settings and I'll change the setup and see if I can't get a couple of scales out of that piece of wood. I'm going to bring the fence in. I am running at the highest speed now by pulling out that clutch, or sorry, pushing in the clutch. Still learning to fly this beast. Okay, so all I've done is brought in the fence. I'm going to turn the vacuum back on in a second. You know, it's cheaper to buy wood in bigger pieces and be able to saw it down yourself, so you save a bit of money. Also, you can saw your own small logs with this. Obviously I haven't tried that yet, but we might have a go at that later today and find a suitable candidate. Now turn the vacuum back on and cut these scales. Righto, so resawing wood, that's a pass. Okay, so I've made some changes again. I've taken off the fence, kept the speed on the timber setting, and I've got some scales drawn up here. I've changed the blade to a 6mm 6 TPI. Should cut curves okay, and again, not the bandsaw master here, but I'm going to give this a go. Well, I need to grind the blade down to the lines, I don't know. But anyway, never mind. Couple of scales, blade roughed out, couple of minutes. I reckon that's pretty good, particularly given the thickness of that blade, 5.3mm. Changing the blades, let's just do a little bit of a tour of the machine. You're going to have to just excuse a little bit of shaky camera work, but anyway, it's me, Corin, and I do shaky camera work very well. Under here, you'll see there's two belts running up from the motor. This is a sheet metal cabinet that the bandsaw sits on. So inside here we've got two adjustments. One is for the fast super speed, 2,800 I think it is feet per minute wood speed. And down here we have the slow speed, so you disengage this and you can engage the use this knob to control your speed, and I find that very good. It does impart a bit of vibration into the machine, so if you have this on the highest setting and then you disengage the clutch and run it at wood speed, it tends to vibrate. The machine tends to have a fair amount of vibration. Most of that vibration goes though if you turn that right down to the slower speed when you're running at the fastest speed by disengaging the clutch or engaging the clutch, whichever it is, to run at wood speed. And yeah, the result is pretty good. I think that is the sacrifice you make for having the gearbox, and I think if you took that belt off, being the variable speed belt here, I think you would you'd eliminate that vibration. But to me, I don't care. I'm not one of those anal wood guys. I'm a knife maker. I cut metal with my bandsaw. I cut wood with my bandsaw. I'm going to want a bandsaw that does both, and if I have to make a sacrifice to do that, so be it. I can cope with it. The frame, let's talk about this. The frame of the bandsaw is all cast iron. It's very heavy and very solid, robust unit. Very happy with that. Also down here, we've got a tilting table arrangement so that we can cut bevels. I was going to go on to cut a bevel in a garden stuff around, but I think sorry, I got my safety boots on, so that was lucky, wasn't it? Alright, get all the crap off the table, and there we go, we can cut bevels, which is great. So, I'll just do that like that. Like you do. The guides are carbide in there, covered in dust. They're carbide on the sides and roller. I wasn't sure about carbide guides, but it's so, geez, they're compact and they work really well. So no issue there with functionality. And easy to set up and adjust as well. There's one at the back there, if I'm honest, is a bit hard to get to with an Allen key, but I'm probably just being a bit of a sook. This is the vacuum port, which I've got running to vacuum, and you know, it throws dust everywhere. I think that's a fact of life for a bandsaw. They make dust. Inside here we've got these beautiful cast pulleys. I love these. I don't know why, but that does it for me. There's not much light, so maybe I'll come back. And we've got rubber tyres, obviously. And I don't know what else you want to see in there, but there you go, that's what's in there. Yeah, don't be like me and unscrew these knobs. You just took me a while to figure that out, but don't go there. Up the top here, again, you know, everything's pretty straightforward, pretty bandsaw standard. And around the back here, we've got the tracking here and tension here. Tension's really easy to set by going to the right part on the scale. If I'm honest, the knob up here, I've changed the blade for this demonstration several times. It's the most time consuming part of the job. It doesn't take that long, but you know, it is the most time consuming, and most of the time is spent, well, a fair portion of the time is spent dicking around with this thing. So I'm thinking of taking that out, putting something on there. I can put a cordless screwdriver on there, mainly because I am very, very lazy, and that's just the way I am. So I'll modify it. It's my machine, I can do what I like. Now, there we go. Other than that, great machine. Going to change the way I do things for sure. If you have any questions, just ask. And I believe we've got a few in stock there, so by all means, jump on them.